time for my 6-month update. Before we get into that, though, in honor of the Gallaghers and Shameless, if you're not following me, here's what you missed. Reading reviews from people who had nothing to do with Diamond Dallas Page, as far as I could tell, men's magazines and stuff, and most of them went in wanting to be critics, went in wanting to say, you know, this doesn't work, it's a piece of shit, just like all the rest of them. And every one of them that I read said, you know, after a couple weeks I could feel a difference. Saw a guy on Twitter today said, I'm going to check out this DDP yoga gimmick. Gimmick my ass, brother. This is the real deal. So, if you're wondering, if you don't have the program and you're wondering, DDP Yoga. DDP Yoga is saving my life right now. DDP retweeted it, my phone blew up, man. The support was amazing. I had one troll, didn't bother me. You know, the support from everybody was just great. I appreciate everybody that supported me through this. This morning, went to a junkyard to get a part for my wife's fan. And haven't been to a junkyard in a while, but walking through there and all the rock, and you know, she pointed out, don't twist your ankle. And we walked through the junkyard. We walked all the way to the back of it, got the part. I was climbing in and out of this van getting part, and I didn't have any problems at all. Overall, things been going really good. I can walk. My knee's hurting, but I can walk. I'm wearing my brace once in a while, but I'm out here working. I'm out here doing service. I'm outside, not sitting behind my desk.
I got bronchitis. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Pulmonary distress is a tough thing, whether it's asthma, bronchitis, emphysema. I've had a lot of people telling me to, you know, get on the mat and do what I can. It's been 2 weeks today since I worked out. I'm planning on going home and doing energy today, so I'm going to get back at it starting today. But pulmonary distress and any kind of illness will take you out. Putting up plastic. I was standing on a chair. The only ladder I've got is too big to fit in the particular room I was in. I was standing on a chair, hanging plastic. Everything was great, rolling right along. I stepped over to an end table, and just put my weight on an end table while I reached over and hung plastic, and the end table rolled, and bam, I went down straight on my bad knee. It hurt. I came down on the corner of the table with all my weight on that bad knee, and that was rough. I'm not setting any goals. I'm not saying this is what I'm going to do. I'm not saying I'm back. I hope I'm back, but I'm not saying I'm back. I'm saying that I'm still moving on my journey. I'm saying that I was sick for a month and a half. I was injured. I went through the holidays. I gained 10 pounds. 10 pounds. That's nothing. I was losing 10 pounds a week beginning, so maybe next week that'll be gone. Welcome back to my 6-month update. Been 6 months since I started doing DDP yoga. A little over 6 months since my son showed me Arthur's video. I went on, you know, did my research. The video that we saw didn't mention DDP yoga for some strange reason. So I looked up the video, I researched the video, found DDP yoga. I was familiar with Diamond Dallas Page. I'm not a big wrestling fan. Back in the early 80s, I was a little bit of a wrestling fan. I had mutual friends with Michael Von Erich, so I was familiar with the Von Erichs. I was familiar with the Wrestling and Chase guys here in St. Louis, which was, from what I understand, was a pretty big market for y'all. I know there's a lot of huge wrestling fans here. Just the entertainment aspect, once the WWE started, it was a little over the top for me. So, but I got a lot of respect for the athleticism that it takes. I got a lot of respect for the physical damage that they receive. I understand the sport of it. Beyond the Mat was a great documentary, but I'm just not a huge wrestling fan. It happens. Diamond Dallas Page, I was familiar with him. I knew exactly who he was. I kind of knew his story. I knew he started late. I knew, that he was a world champion, all that. I always thought it was pretty cool. He was one of my favorites out of the people that I did know of. But 6 months ago, I was 474 pounds, and I could barely move. I would come to work. I would go home and I'd sit. At work, I would do as little of the physical work as possible. I wanted to stay at my desk. I wanted to delegate. If I did have to go out and work in the field, I would cut corners. I would get it done as fast as I could and come home, come back. I wanted to get in the truck. I wanted to get back on my ass. I wanted to get at the desk, get back on my ass. I was getting slower and slower. I was getting to where I could walk less and less. Couldn't go to the store. Couldn't go grocery shopping with my wife. My back and my knee would hurt too bad. February 2011, I fell off a truck. And at that point, I was probably 425 pounds. My entire weight fell and was hanging by the back of my knee. So I ended up sitting on the couch for a really long time, trying to rehab that. I didn't miss any work. I would come to work and I would come home. And he took it real easy on me back then. I didn't have to do much going out because he knew I was messed up. I mean, look, there's my leg. I mean, it was crazy. And that's probably 3 weeks after the accident. And I gained a lot of weight. I was already over 400 pounds. I've been over 400 pounds for at least 5 years. And I was already over 400 pounds, and then I was sitting at a desk at work, I was sitting on the couch at home, and I wasn't doing anything that I needed to be doing. So basically, I got to a point where I couldn't get back. Over the last 4 years, I've 3 years at the point that I started. I would do little things. I would try to lose weight. I would diet. I would try to exercise. But when it came to the exercise, I couldn't find anything that I could actually do. And that just kicked my ass. So what I did was ended up gaining all kinds of weight, getting sedentary, and then my son showed me the video and did my research, bought the program. And I'm going to tell you that the first day, maybe the diamond doesn't, but definitely by the energy, I could feel such a difference. I put my cane down, and I haven't used it since. I stopped using my brace within 2 or 3 days, and I've only used it a couple times since, probably 2 months in. As you saw in that one review, had a little moment that, a couple weeks that I used it a few times, but I wore that brace every single day. I used that cane probably 4 days a week, 3-4 days a week. I could not move. And within a few days, man, I was up and moving. And I just couldn't believe it. It was zero impact on my joints. That was the key. Rehabbing and energy. This is the thing, man. If you need to rehab and energy, this is where you need to be. The weight loss I needed, and that's the transformations that I saw. And that is a byproduct of the program. But it's a byproduct that's very important to a whole lot of us. So I'm going to be the one to go out and say DDP Yoga is a weight loss program. DDP won't say it. A lot of guys won't say it, but I'm saying it. It's a byproduct that always happens if you do the program correctly. So I started doing the workouts. I could move. I could walk. It was amazing. And within 2.5 months, I lost up to 69 pounds. I got down to like 405, and I was just couldn't break that barrier into 400, beat 400, get out of the 400s. I got sick in late October. Then I got really sick, and I didn't work out really at all. And I started eating bad, kind of going in reverse. Excuse me. And that was a rough time. as I started to get better, I was hanging plastic. Wintertime coming, I was hanging plastic in my bedroom, got old windows, and stepped over on a table and fell and hurt my knee. You saw the clip of that, talking about that, and that put me out again. So I ended up 2.5 months, I didn't do anything. I probably worked out 3 or 4 times, and those were all times that I made a video and said, I'm coming back. This is it, I'm back. And I wasn't able to. But I tried to do what I could do when I could breathe. When I was sick, it was nearly impossible. When I was injured, I could do something. So I got to the point where I was 2.5 months without really doing any good. And I did 2.5 months of good. So my thought was, man, if I get to 3 months of being bad, then the 2.5 months of good isn't what I'm doing, it's what I used to do. You know, because I've got more time under my belt of not doing it than doing it. So that kind of kick-started me on trying to get a little bit better, and I was starting to move a little bit, starting to do a little bit, and New Year's came around, and when New Year's hit, I saw Slim's video, which I mentioned in my last video, and it really, the message I got from that was, you know, even if you slip, you just got to keep moving forward, which is always the message. But for some reason, it really hit me in that video. If you want to hear more about that, go back to my last video, my New Year's update. But that one really got me going. Now I am weighed in Saturday. It's my 6th month was Saturday. Weighed in at 394 pounds. So that is past my 75 mark, which was a big milestone for me. Past 400, getting it back into the 300s for the first time in 5 years. 80 pounds lost in 6 months. 80 pounds lost in 6 months is great. The thing is that there was 2.5 months that I lost 40 pounds, but it was the same 10 pounds over and over. So 2.5 months is gone. So now you take that out, and I lost 80 pounds in 3.5 months doing DDP yoga and eating clean. 3.5 months I've lost 80 pounds. I wanted to be that guy. I wanted to be the Arthur Berman. I wanted to be the Slim Gillian. I wanted to be those guys that's going to inspire everybody. I'm not going to be the guy that loses 200 pounds in a year just based on my going out. And when I go out with the family, I've got a big family, and our bonding is food. Our bonding is, you know, going out to eat, eating big dinners at home. So that I do that once in a while, and I'm not going to be that guy that loses 200 pounds in a year. But I am the guy that did 2.5 months of nothing off the wagon. And in the last 2.5 weeks, I got back on the wagon, and I've lost 21 pounds. So it can be done. You can get back at it even if you lose it. So if you're that person that does DDP yoga, but you've stopped, man, you can get back at it. You can do it. You just need the right inspiration. You need that right push. My alarm goes off 4:40 in the morning. I don't want to do it. A lot of mornings I don't want to get up, but as soon as I hit that mat, man, I'm glad I did. And I wish I would have on the days that I didn't. So you just got to teach yourself to do it whether you want to or not, and you're going to be glad you did it. I'm not one of these guys that's like, oh, I can't wait to get home and work out. Sometimes I am. One part of my mind says that I know I'm going to love it. The other part says if I can avoid it, let's try to avoid it. Yesterday, my alarm went off. I didn't get up, and I felt bad about it in the morning. I came to work and I thought, man, you know what I'm going to do? I'm gonna kick it anyway. Yesterday's when I made that "Here's What You Missed" video. You see that tank on top of that truck. Basically, when I went to load that tank yesterday morning, there was a lifting bar for a different product on the truck. It's about 250-pound lifting bar. And I decided rather than using a forklift to move it, I moved it by hand, took it off, moved it out of the way. 6 months ago, wouldn't happen. And the lifting bar for that's about 100 pounds. I picked that up, threw it on the truck. I started doing stuff by hand. I carried wire all the way across the yard, 1,000-foot roll of wire. You know, it's probably 100, 150 pounds, carried it across the yard to try to make up for that exercise, because I knew I had 2 birthday dinners. We had to take our daughters to birthday dinner last night, so I knew I wasn't going to get a chance to work out unless I could stay up late, and that didn't happen because of what happened later. Went to deliver those products and get out on the job site, and it's ankle deep, knee deep mud. I mean, here's my truck. You know, that's what I was in. So knee deep, ankle deep, knee deep mud, scraping, you know, walking through that up and down off the truck, back and forth to the jobs, hole to the hole for the tank. It was crazy. So I got a lot of work out yesterday. Also, the truck's on a steep incline on soft mud. I got 16,000 pounds hanging off of a $130,000 truck. You want to get your heart rate up. DDP, that's how you get your heart rate up. And everything went good. I got in, got out. But I got to work out doing that. So at least I'm moving. That's another thing. 6 months ago, man, I would have dreaded that job so bad. And when I pulled up and saw that mud, I wouldn't know what I was going to do. I mean, I break down, almost cry sometimes on them jobs, knowing that I gotta show a good face. I gotta get out there and I gotta get the job done. Working with guys that climb around in it all day long every day. So I had to make it look good back then. Yesterday it was nothing, man. I rolled with it. So I'm doing last week I did energy and fat burner every day. This week I'm a workout behind, but I'm gonna make that up. That's the other thing. I've lost 80 pounds on just energy and fat burner. A little bit of red hot corn, not even enough to say I do it. I'm trying to add it in. That's my goal for 2015, is to advance in the program. I'm 6 months in. I've only done energy and fat burner. I've lost 80 pounds. So it can be done. Eating clean. You know, we just got a new store that opened up here called Fresh Time. If you have them, if you got that store near you, check it out. It's great. Natural meats, organics, clean food. Sorry about that. Got interrupted by work. Not even sure where I was at, but energy and fat burner is all I've been doing. My goal for 2015 is to advance more. The eating right, eating clean, there we go, that's where I was at. Fresh Time. It's natural foods, it's real clean foods, it's a real nice store. And I eat clean when I can. Like I said, I got a big family, and once in a while I eat dinner with them because they feel kind of lost with me eating something else. It's kind of like being the black sheep. And I'm trying not to do that. But I do eat clean. I watch calories as well as keeping processed foods out. No high fructose corn syrup. No chemicals that they aren't natural. Is what I try to do. I try to stay on the outside of the store. Shop the perimeter of the store. Lots of vegetables, some chicken, gluten-free and dairy-free. I'm pretty much gluten-free. Every once in a while I have a piece of bread. But dairy-free, I have a little bit of ranch, I have a little bit of sour cream, I have a little bit of cheese, but cut way, way back. And I didn't realize the intolerances I had to gluten and dairy, because I always felt bad. But since I've been eating clean, I've felt a lot better. I've felt 100% better in my body, and just every day feeling good. And if I eat a lot of dairy or a lot of gluten, I feel bad again. I notice it in the bathroom. I notice it laying down. I notice it with belly aches. And so that was something that I would have never looked into. And that's something that I suggest you try it. And if it's better for you, you stick with it. If it's not something that I think you have to do. I think it makes a difference. I think there's a lot of fat and a lot of sugar in both of them, most gluten products and most dairy products. But if it's something you can't do, I don't think it's a key component. There's probably a lot of people that'll argue with me on that, but it's not a key component. Rev Kev just did a video with his grocery list, and he mentions, not believing the packaging. You got to look at the ingredients. You got to know what you're looking at. What I did was I watched Food Inc. I watched Knives Over Forks, or Forks Over Knives. I do that every time. I watched Fat, Sick, and Nearly Dead. Those were the three main ones that I watched. There's another one, I can't think of it right now. But I took a lot of information from them. Some of them are political, some of them are over the top. But you can get a lot of information from them. Forks Over Knives had a lot of information about the actual chemicals and the stuff that keep you aspartame in diet soda. It's not just the NutraSweet, it's the aspartame. It's all these chemicals that help keep you fat, that help destroy your body. And I think it's a lot of good information. So that's what I use to educate myself on looking at the packaging. If you're watching this and you don't already do DDP yoga, I don't know why you're still here, but I appreciate it. It's worth giving it a shot. I'm not a rich man. I mean, you can see my work area, and it was worth the money that I spent to get the program. Number one, to teach me. The book is amazing. The access to information is amazing. The community, Team DDP Yoga, DDP Yoga on Facebook is amazing. If you don't do it, go to Facebook, DDP Yoga, join that. Just look at the people, listen, talk to them, check it out. It is worth every penny. We're not a cult. You hear a lot of things that make it sound like a cult. Keep moving forward, and all the keywords that we use all the time. But it really does work. It works great. I wanna just go through. This is my 6 months, so there's a few people I want to mention. Diamond Dallas Page, of course. Arthur Borman. I think Robert made the video for Arthur Borman and got it out there. I'm sorry if I'm wrong on that, but that was a great thing, and it's been a great thing for God. It's been a great thing for DDP Yoga, man. That's what gave it its wheels. But Slim Gillian, Slimtronic 5000, and I'm going to link as many of these as I can think of to the video. Slimtronic 5000, Slim Gillian, man, his 1 year video is what got me here, what got me started. It was amazing. Eric Thacker, Team DDP Yoga, he's a few months ahead of me, and so far ahead of me in the program, so far ahead of me in weight loss, so far ahead of me in getting healthy, and I'm chasing him, and he's doing an amazing job. Jared Melikoff lost well over 100 pounds. I'm chasing him. I'm behind him. And these guys are huge inspirations for me. Everybody on Team DDP Yoga is a huge inspiration for me. There's people that I talk to and comment on, and they comment on me every day. And I'm sorry if I didn't mention you, but it's the best support system ever, and I'm so happy it's there for me. And I think that's why I'm still here after 6 months. 2015 is gonna be great for me. I'm gonna move forward in the program. I'm gonna move forward in my eating. When I cheat now, I eat the stuff that I used to eat when I was on a diet, and I call that cheating, and that's amazing to me. I may not lose it all in record time, but I'm losing weight. Anything I've ever thought of as a failure is unbelievable. I've lost 80 pounds in 6 months. There's nothing failing about that. You can do it too if you're not doing it. I said in my last video, I'm going to say it again. If you're worried about failure, if you've lost a couple pounds, you're moving forward. If you haven't lost pounds, but you've lost inches, you're moving forward. If you haven't lost pounds or inches, but you're more flexible, but you're stronger, you're moving forward. As long as we keep moving forward, there's a better life for us. And that is what we need to keep moving on. That is my 6-month update. I don't know if I said anything new there. I don't know if I've said anything you haven't heard me say before, but I'm hoping that somebody sees it that maybe hasn't seen it before. I want to be the guy that inspires people. I want to share my story. I want to have my story to look back on in 20 years when I'm still here because of DDP yoga. So until the next video, or the next time I post, or the next time you talk to me. Later.